born the 14th of March, 1988, is a Burkinabe politician and military officer who has served as the interim president of Burkina Faso since 2022. TRAORÉ took control of Burkina Faso in September 2022, ousting interim president Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba in a coup d'état. Did you know that, in just 2 years, Burkina Faso's GDP grew under the leadership of President Ibrahim Traoré from approximately $18.8 billion to $22.1 billion, and that he rejected loans from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank? The landmark reforms of Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's president, who came to power on October 6, 2022, have once again lent credence to the fact that, with vision and patriotism, the youths remain the key to birthing a new Africa and unlocking its potentials. Traoré took control of Burkina Faso in September 2022, ousting interim president Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba in a coup d'état. At age 37, he is currently the second youngest head of state in the world, the youngest being Kristrún Frostadóttir, an Icelandic politician and economist who is the Prime Minister of Iceland since December 2024. Unlike most African leaders who live a lifestyle of opulence and prioritize enriching themselves to the detriment of the masses, Traoré has embraced a sort of Burkina Faso first mentality, and barely 3 years since his rise to power he has been pushing reforms in favor of his country's growth and development while living a simple and decent life. Here are some of the reforms the young African leader did since his reign as Africa president. In 2024, President Traoré launched the Postal Bank of Burkina Faso with a capital of approximately $25 million and the Treasury Deposit Bank. President Traoré banned British and French colonial-style wigs for judges to decolonize Burkina Faso's judiciary and promote national identity. This aligns with Africa's broader movement to discard colonial legacies and embrace cultural heritage. Under his tenure, Burkina Faso launched its first fully locally funded $12 million tomato processing factory. It marked a significant step towards industrialization and reducing reliance on imported tomato products. In 2023, Burkina Faso under President Traoré adopted traditional attires as school uniforms to promote the country's culture. The Ministry of Education directed that the country's Faso Danfani textiles should be used to make uniforms for students. President Traoré built and commissioned the country's first-ever gold refinery. In 2024, the refinery processed 142 tons of mining residues, yielding 93 kilograms of gold for Burkina Faso. He nationalized 2 gold mines, Boungou and Wagnan, for $80 million, a significant reduction from the $300 million Endeavour Mining had agreed to sell them for. The deal shows Burkina Faso securing a favorable agreement. President Traoré reduced the salaries of ministers and parliamentarians by 30% and increased the salaries of civil servants by 50%. He also paid off Burkina Faso's local debts. President Traoré approved the expansion of the Bobo Dioulasso airport with an 80 billion CFA francs investment to modernize the country's second-largest hub. Traoré also acquired an Embraer 170 to revive its national airline, Air Burkina, after it was shut down. President Traoré launched the country's first national support center for artisanal cotton processing. Burkina Faso is the largest producer of cotton in Africa. It is also the 10th largest producer of cotton worldwide. President Traoré expelled French troops from Burkina Faso, officially ending Operation Sabre with a historic ceremony marking the withdrawal. Despite this, Captain Traoré seeks to maintain stable relations with Paris amid the country's remilitarization efforts. When France's President Macron said African countries are ungrateful for kicking French troops out, Traoré replied that Macron should pray to African ancestors because France exists because of them. Agriculture has seen a significant boost under his reign, with farmers enjoying abundant harvests. President Traoré gave farmers and agricultural investors 400 tractors, 953 motorcycles, 710 motor pumps, 10,000 tons of fish food, 68,964 tons of fertilizer, and 10,000 liters of phytosanitary products. These supplies aim to boost agricultural productivity. President Traoré signed a treaty with Niger and Mali to establish the Alliance of Sahel States, the world's only confederation. The trio vowed not to return to ECOWAS, planning a stabilization fund, a bank, and an economic study committee. President Traoré introduced a new biometric passport without the ECOWAS logo and made Russia reopen its embassy in Burkina Faso, after 31 years of closure. In 2023, President Traoré removed French as an official language, adopting local languages as official languages. Mali did the same thing earlier that year. President Traoré supplied the Ministry of Health with 15 mobile clinics, 36 vehicles, 3 oxygen units, 11 cold rooms, 835 tablets, 1,900 solar refrigerators, and many more. The ministry will also provide 4,000 free cataract surgeries. President Traoré has survived more than 4 coup attempts in 2 years. In 2023, 4 military officers were arrested in connection to a coup attempt. 4 soldiers were also arrested in January 2024. Another coup attempt was thwarted few days ago, in April 2025. President Traoré organized a football match and played with African stars, like JJ Okocha, Emmanuel Adebayor, Stephen Mbia, Mamadou Niang and Souleymane Diawara. He scored a hat-trick in the match. Burkina Faso under President Ibrahim Traoré said it can do without USAID. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Passo and Cabra, revealed that the ministry achieved 91% of its goals last year without USAID. Burkina Faso is one of the least corrupt countries in Africa. On March 20, 2025, Burkina Faso's President Traoré inaugurated the Sisinob SA cement plant in Laongo. With a 2,000-ton daily production capacity, it symbolizes a mutually beneficial partnership with China, creating jobs for youth. On October 25, 2024, Burkina Faso's President Traoré launched the 17th International Handicraft Fair in Ouagadougou. The event showcased Burkina Faso's resilience, sovereignty, and cultural heritage, with special participation from Mali and Niger. Under his tenure, Burkina Faso got its first electric vehicle brand, IBRAHIM. Equipped with solar panels and an advanced battery, it boasts a 330 km range after just 30 minutes of charging. Developed through a collaboration between Burkinabe engineers and international experts, IBRAHIM marks a major step towards sustainable mobility in Africa. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.